Hello, my name is Prashant. I'm here to present my midterm project 3, where I will be presenting a classification rate making pricing engine built in our Shiny app that produces indicated premiums by different risk classes for proposed policy year 2026 for a given dataset. I will walk through the full actual workflow, development trend, credibility, and exposure loading, and then do a live demonstration of the interactive Shiny app. So the dataset has 30 records, six different classes A, B, C, D, E across 5 accident years from 2020 to 2024. Each row contains paid and incurred losses at development ages of 12, 24, 36, 48, and 60 months. The data sits on the latest diagonal. So accident year 2024 is only 12 months old, and accident year 2020 is fully developed at 60 months. Expense assumptions are fixed: 10% loss adjustment expense, 24% variable, and 5% profit. Fixed expenses uh, range from $48 to $60 per exposure, depending on the class. And annual trend is frequency 1.2% times severity 5.5%, which is about 6.8% combined per year. So I use the chain ladder method with arithmetic average age to age factors. Development is pulled across all 6 different classes. This is standard when individual classes data is thin. The selected link ratio step down from 1.1325 at 12 to 24 months, converging towards 1. The tail factor is 1. I justify this because accident year 2020 shows paid losses equal to the incurred at 60 months across every classes, confirming no development beyond the age 60. The cumulative development factor at 12 month is around 1.2048, meaning accident year 2024 is currently about 83% developed and needs the most projection to reach ultimate. Once I have ultimate losses, I train them to the future policy year midpoint of June 2026. The annual premium, pure premium trend is the product of 1 plus frequency trend and 1 plus severity trend, which is 1.012 times 1.055, which equals 1.0677 per year. Trend periods vary by accident year. Accident year 2020 needs 6.5 years of training, giving a factor of 1.422. So we are multiplying accident year 2020's trend losses by about 1.42, and accident year 2024 only needs 2.5 years at 1.135. These trend ultimates are then divided by on exposures to produce the trended pure premium for each class. And with trended pure premium in hand, we apply square root credibility. The full credibility standard is 1082, is derived from the limited fluctuation formula Z alpha over R, all squared using 90% confidence and plus or minus 5% precision. Classes A through D all exceed 1082 claims and receive full credibility. Their indication rests entirely on class experience, and class E and class F are partially credible with Z values of 0.884 and 0.876. Their blended losses cost is pulled towards all class complement of $550 per exposure. So here are the final results. The formula is blended pure premium times 1.10 of loss adjustment expenses plus fixed expenses, all divided by 0.71, which is 1 minus variable expenses minus profit. The numbers tell a clear story. Class F needs 47% increase. It has the highest loss cost and only partial credibility. Class B needs nearly 29% increase. It's fully credible, but rates haven't kept pace with the trends. And Class C is only class with a negative indication, suggesting a slightly overpricing in the preferred subsegment, suburban subsegment. Now let me open the engine and show you the live demo of my calculator. So what you're looking is the R code for the calculator. Let's run the code. So what you're seeing is the user interface of the calculator that I built. On your left, you can see all the inputs data, your input menu. Here you can select the risk classes from A to F, and for the select loss biases, we can choose either the incurred or the paid method to calculate the premium. And for LDF averaging method, we can either choose latest 3 observation, which is 3 years averaging method, and we can also choose all available observations. For scenario, I have given 3 options: optimistic, baseline, and pessimistic. And for fully credibility standard, the fixed 1082 is fixed number. We can always override the scenario that we already inputted in this tab. For example, if we select optimistic, it shows 1.004, but we can always change it and override the assumption. And for future policy year midpoint, we can also do 2025 June, 2026, and anything. So once we hit the calculate on your right, you can see the indicated premium 838.87 calculated for the given class 6 class, and selected loss basis incurred. If we hit for paid, it calculates around 858.57. So, and the current premium is around 800 and 780. And so for incurred, this suggests around 7.5% increase in the current premium. The credibility is Z, and the tab also shows the trend ultimate losses and on exposures. In the summary tab, the summary tab shows a 7-step indication trace, and this is most important feature of the engine from an actuarial standpoint, because step one is the class train pure premium, that the raw cost after development and train but before any credibility adjustment. Step two is the all class complement, which is the trained pure premium calculated across the entire book of business. Step three is the credibility Z value for that class that we chose. Step four is the credibility weighted blend Z times the pure class pure premium plus one minus Z times the complement. Step five adds the loss adjustment expenses loading, and step six adds the fixed expenses. Step seven applies the gross up denominator of 0.71, which is one of minus variable expense and minus the profit provisions. And these 7 steps helps us to track how we calculate the premium of 838.87. On the bottom tab, it shows the key assumptions that are used to use for the calculations: incurred baseline, tail factors, and future midpoints, and LEF averaging method from the credibility standpoint. It also shows the known limitation of this calculator. The indicated versus current premium graph is shown on the right of the key assumptions, and all class summary is shown here as well. And on the top of that, the selected class premium indication with metrics and values are also shown in the summary tab. In the development tab, we can see selected H2H factors and cumulative development factors, ultimate to loss details, selected class development factors, formulas that are used to come up with the development factors, and CDF decay profile through this graph. And in the trend tab, we can see trend to future policy year for the selected class, which is class A. And on its right, we can see the formula that I used to come up with this. And the trend ultimate loss by accident year is shown for the class A, as we choose class A here. And 10 factors by accident year is also shown in this trend tab. For the credibility tab, I saw all the classes credibility summary and credibility formula used for this. And the credibility blend by class is also shown by the graph just below it. And for the expenses, expense loading and premium build up for all the classes are shown along with the formula used for it. Premium build up by the classes are also shown below it, and the formulas used for it. And for the charts, we have indicated versus current premium for all the six risk classes, and trend ultimate loss by accident year for the chosen class, and credibility blend by class, and premium build up by the class. So, and we can also choose for let's go to the class F, high hazard mix. The indicated premiums under this jumps to around 1,741.48, which is a 47.6% increase. But notice the credibility there drops to 0.86. Class F only has 831 claims against our standard 1,082. So it's only 87.6% is credible. With that pull towards the lower class complement, Class F still needs a 47% increase, which tells you how bad the underlying losses reality are. And same goes for the output. And uh, let's discuss the three scenarios that I used here. This is where the engine becomes real pricing tool. I built three views, and each one represents a different assumptions about the tail factors, which is where most of the uncertainty lives in the dataset. Baseline for the incurred use 1.005. This is my central estimate justified by accident year 2020's convergence of paid to incurred at 60 months. The optimistic scenario reduces to 1.004. I got there by taking the baseline margin above 1, which is 0.005, and cutting it by 25%. This says book is even more fully developed, and baseline assumes losses come with a little lower, and rates don't need to move quite as much. And the pessimistic scenario pushes the tail up to 1.008. That's the same as 1.005. Sorry, that's same as 0.005 margin increase by 50%. The asymmetry is intentional. Underestimating losses is far more costly than overestimating them. So I applied a larger stock on the downside than the upside. Under this scenario, class F's indication climbs noticeably above the baseline, showing just how sensitive the class assumption is. For the spread between optimistic and pessimistic is telling you how uncertain the indication is. And for paid losses, similarly, I have calculated the baseline is around 1.03, and optimistic is 25% less than the baseline, and the pessimistic is 50% more than the baseline. And in this way, we can choose all the inputs and hit the calculate button to look at the outputs. And let's go to the limitations of my model. So the limitations of this model is I want to be transparent about the model, and acknowledging the limitation is a part of actual practice. So the tail of one is defensible here, but I would benchmark it externally in the real filing, and development is pulled across different classes, which is appropriate given the class level data, but does not, but it does suppress class specific patterns. For example, class F may not align with the pool data, and but using the pool data suppresses the unique characteristics of the class. A uniform trend is applied. Class specific trends would be preferable with more data, and despite these limitations, the engine is fully auditable. Every calculations are traceable, transparent, and interactive. So and let's any stakeholder test assumptions in the real time. So yeah, that's my project. Thank you for your time.